It's sort of like that moment where you're walking down the street and say you like listen to music and you look up and you just sort of like realize you're alone. Do it for like a few seconds, and then people come back into it again. It's like this really special time, and it only happens so rarely, especially in a city like Sydney. I think I gravitate towards this thing because the city that I'm from originally is a really empty, sort of dead city, and so you get a lot of it. It's something that almost is comfortable for me, whereas I think some people might find it a bit unnerving, but it's sort of like a shoot back to home when I'm sort of, it's just like silent for a moment. Like, it's a thing, I I'm always collecting wood, sort of collecting it and stockpiling it and sorting it with like smaller wood and bigger wood, and I have my reference, and I like to think of wood as actual brush strokes, so instead of making a stroke or a mark with the brush, it's almost like you're digging wood, so it's almost like that. So it's sort of supposed to be a rhythm that kind of flows in with the dynamic of the piece, so the brush strokes sort of, I guess, interlace with wood. Just a marketing technique.
When I start to work, I don't think, oh, what can I do here, what I'm trying to say, it doesn't really matter. It's all about experimenting, bringing textures, colors, so it's all about having a nice image in the end. Oh yeah, that's basically like, yeah, I like the dirty texture and punchy colors, typography, a bit of illustration as well. Yeah, that's the core of it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't give me a nice structure, like strong enough to achieve a flat result. So when I started doing like collaging on wooden boards, that was much better. And yeah, I also like playing with digital stuff, trying again to bring the natural texture which I achieved on the handmade, on the digital ones.
I guess I'm just kind of interested in like the fact that like dreams really can't be represented. Either, you know, any way you look at it, you can't really represent something that exists in your subconscious. Like you just can't do it, you know. So, and there's been a lot of artists I've been looking a lot at the moment at like Brian Geisen and William Massaro's dream machines, and you know, like interpretation of dreams and how artists deal with that, I guess. So for me, it's more of like a symbolism, you know. Like it's kind of, obviously I don't dream in galaxies every night, but it's kind of, you know, symbolic of, I guess, like how it works is I start a dream journal and, you know, write down a few things and then circle a colour that I associated with that, so it's a very like raw process, you know. It's not, I find it kind of tacky to like recreate a dream as such, I guess. I was really concerned with like the movement in them, like because obviously I'm in them and I really wanted to make it so that you couldn't see my face. Like I hate self-portraits. No, I don't hate self-portraits, but like, you know, I didn't want it to be recognisable, the figure, so I was kind of just playing around with like moving around and trying to create this movement, and I also had like coloured fabric in them as well that I was like twirling around at the time and trying to really create a sense of like floating in kind of, you know, a different universe, I guess.
I'm just really mad about the blue and the red together, so I wanted that, and orange, and I don't know how to explain it, but
I guess it's
black and white's really powerful.
Is it always in the pinks and the oranges and reds, or do you progress?
Oh, it changes a lot, but I just go for these kind of really, these colours that are always bouncing off each other, and blue and red, you know, like the primaries are really powerful, and black and orange and all of those types of colours, they kind of reverberate against each other, and that kind of activity in front of the eyes is really, you know, good. I like that. Sort of, it's like almost like op art. I'm really into like Bridget Riley and stuff like that. So in a way, you're not really necessarily looking for a narrative. It's all about the sort of the way things just kind of form, and you know, just a visual aesthetic thing. But in a way, there's a story behind it. It's not necessary to know the story or anything. Like, I don't think that really kind of weighs on the picture very much. It's more just about this kind of aesthetic, you know, like just enjoying the actual picture for what it's worth, rather than having a backstory of any kind. So, yeah. I just sort of make it, and I don't really think about it too much. I just sort of make it, and people kind of react to it, go, man, I just love what you're doing, or I go, great, do more.